Killer B here for Blast Beats and Breakdowns. Blast Beats and Breakdowns with the guys from IDOLS.
Hey, I'm Daniel. I play drums.
I'm Jay, I do vocals.
And this is on the first stop of their Infinity Tour and Beyond. Is that what it's called?
Tour Infinity and Beyond.
Tour Infinity and Beyond. That's quite. I get by. I get the voice of the Buzz Lightyear flyer.
But it's hard, right?
That's. Yeah. All access. So, is this like your guys' first tour, or have you been doing other tours?
This is our third tour. Before I joined the band, when he was the only one in it.
It was a one-man band.
One-man band. We toured with Those Who Lie Beneath, did a West Coast tour before they got signed. Then last summer we toured the West Coast by ourselves, and this is our third tour, and we're touring with Burning Twilight, obviously, and it's going to be 3.5 weeks to the Midwest.
So, what's like the best and worst parts of touring with us?
I don't like the living space situation because we're at the mercy and grace of our fans if they want to let us sleep on their floor and let us shower in their bathrooms. I think last tour, because I'm taller than average, I'm like 6'2", 6'3", so sleeping in a van with 6 other dudes is not comfortable. And I think the longest we went last tour, we were going through Nevada, California and Nevada. We were sweating and didn't shower for 4 days straight. So it's just
no AC in August.
No.
Sucks balls.
Yeah, I wouldn't know anything about being tall. But what about the best part?
I'd say the best part is hanging out with your friends all day. Although you kind of get at each other's throats.
Yeah.
We had 4 days off in a row in California, and when there's nothing to do but get drunk, everyone gets pretty violent. And
which Daniel doesn't do. I get drunk and do stupid shit.
But it's a lot of it's a whole lot of fun hanging out with your best friends all day every day. We only see each other 2 times a week for practice, so when we get to hang out full time, we've got a lot of catching up to do, and that's also kind of the worst part. Being with your best friends at all times, but and playing shows every night to new kids. Playing to new people, new faces every night, and having people come out and know your lyrics. That's really good.
I think that's when I really fell in love with it. Was when kids would actually sing some of my lyrics back to me. I was just like, what? It was just kind of a surreal kind of moment. It's probably one of my favorite things is to look into the crowd and just kids getting into it and they're enjoying music for what it is, just passion and I don't know, getting angry, just feeling something from the just making art, making music. I like to be able to share that with other people. I think that's probably my favorite aspect of it.
And it's really cool to know that we're giving kids a 25-minute temporary escape from all the shit that's going on in their lives.
Absolutely.
If someone's got problems at home, they can come out to a show and pretend like they're fighting someone and
invisible ninjas.
Release all their anger and just forget about all the shit that's going on.
That kind of leads into one of my other questions. When you guys are writing your music or the lyrics or any part, how much do you guys actually plan ahead towards how you're going to play it live or crowd interaction? Is that kind of something you work into it later, or is that something you have consciously in your brain while you're writing?
It varies. There's some songs where we just get into a groove and we're not thinking about playing a live show at all. All we think about is, this part, this flows really well. Oh, what if we did this? And sometimes you just get into a groove and a whole song flows out in a matter of hours. And other times we go into a mindset, our last 2 songs we wrote were pretty melodic. We want to do something that's a little bit heavier, something that we can play first or second in our set to get kids pumped. So it really varies. Sometimes some other things just flow, and other times we go in with a mindset that we're going to do something specifically for the live show.
Yeah, there's definitely the one beginning. I'm an idiot. I don't remember exactly what it is, but that kind of sounds like it's the game chant,
Hopeless in April.
That one.
Yeah.
That's fucking night.
That was something that came about like after we wrote it, definitely. But I don't know. I want to be more of a showman live. Like I want to progressively work on what I can do to entertain and I don't know, push the boundaries of like what a live show is for hardcore shows and like metal shows. Like it's gotten to a point where people just show up, they play their set, and it's done. But I mean, it's old. Like I want something more to it. I want people to leave like, oh wow, you mean like okay, they played good music, but then they also had something to give like visually.
Yeah, I think that when I go to a show, especially, I go to a lot of shows, but like what really stands out, like the guitarist and the bassist having energy is definitely
Yeah.
important, but the the vocalist just like he's the front man for the band. So if he just kind of like one of my biggest pet peeves where vocals like really turns around and like sings to the drummer. What
Yeah.
the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Like it's
No,
cool
I
that you
agree.
like
Yeah,
your drummer,
yeah.
but like who's Scott Vogel from Terror?
Yeah.
Like one of the best like live performances ever. Vincent from Acacia Strain.
Yeah.
Like those dudes know like how to get a crowd pumped.
Absolutely.
And
I think it's a
like
very important aspect of it.
I think that it's kind of hard to like gauge off of a like 20-person show at the Wasteland, but like I really liked that you guys were able to incorporate the crowd and like you were kind of getting people pumped. The other person is the old vocalist Jonathan, I think, from I Declare War.
Yeah.
He was pretty into that.
He's one of my favorites. Like I used to look up to him. It was kind of like a challenge for me. We had some rivalry in the past, but like um, I always looked at John as someone to aspire to because like his stage presence and his live shows always 100% every single show. Singing for Pathology now, like um, he's always going to be an inspiration for me, and I'll always look up to that guy for how amazing he does live every single show.
Yeah, for sure. I saw him with Whitechapel. He actually
Yeah.
filled in for Phil.
Yeah,
because
when Phil had to go home for
whatever it
family
was that he
issues.
was,
Yeah,
whatever it was.
yeah,
I
he
heard
did.
multiple
He
stories.
was awesome.
But next question. What do you think it is that sets you guys apart from other bands? Like, the scene?
You know, that question comes up in pretty much every interview for bands, and people always say, "Oh, we're doing the same thing everyone else does, but heavier." And everyone thinks they're doing something crazy original. Realistically, we're not doing anything all that original. I mean, they're to come out and try and say, "Hey, you know, we're a new type of band." We play breakdowns. We have a lot of fast metal stuff. So we're doing a lot of things what other people do. Uh, I like to think that we go a little bit more, I guess, extreme in some of the more melodic aspects. Like one of the new songs we just released is a gigantic synth and like chorus, like choir part in the end of it, and we're leaning more towards, I guess, incorporating like the melodic aspect of metal in with a lot of the really breakdown heavy bands like King Conquer, for instance. So we're trying to do something that combines the really melodic and catchy parts with the things that make kids want to kill themselves.
I'd say especially seeing you live now, like, uh, you guys aren't like the first band to do anything, but you're kind of picked up on the trend before a lot of other people did with having the three guitars, right?
Yeah.
And so you're able to get a little bit more of that melodic sound while still having the chuggy breakdowns.
But yeah, I mean, we have a guy that is a lot of the parts he ends up doing is he ends up doing the backing breakdowns, and it's not for a lack of talent or anything. It's just that when we have a riff that's going on and all of a sudden it harmonizes, and there's still a breakdown in the background on the recording, bands always have like a breakdown going on with a lead and then harmonized guitars. We got like 4 or 5 guitar tracks going on at the same time. Whereas when we have 3 guitar tracks happening at the same time, we actually play every track live.
So when you see it live, it's not disappointment. Like, you could have how many layers when you're recording, but when you actually get to the stage, like it just sounds empty because you set this expectation, um, like through recordings that you can't meet live. It's just kind of a big letdown. That I've seen bands that like hype themselves up so much through their recordings, but then when you see them live, it's like, wow, this is really just kind of like it's not what I expected. We want to meet those expectations every single time we play.
Yeah,
As far as playing live goes, I mean, obviously every band, like you want to go and see a band play their music well. Because if you show up to a show and it doesn't matter what style it is, if they can't play their music well, it's hard to really get into it.
Yeah.
But we kind of pride ourselves on every single show going as hard as we possibly can and getting the crowd as involved as we can. So basically, we want everyone to leave and think that it was the most violent thing that they've seen ever.
And it's gonna get like, I've got I got a bunch of ideas brewing about how to make live shows more of a show. Still bringing the brutality with the music, but again, I just really want things to be more of an actual entertainment kind of aspect, like theatrical almost, not corny, but like I totally want to make it as brutal as humanly possible. Lights, just not as black metal like black metal guys used to do. Pig blood, pig intestines. I want to bring some more fun aspects to a live show, so that we were giving more to the audience and more to the experience that what Idols really is all
Yeah,
about.
I mean, it's a really thin line between something that's really cool and unique and something that's overly cheesy. So I mean, when you see a band come up and the first thing you see is like, unless they're Slipknot, masks with like fake gashes in their face and they're covered in fake blood, it's hard to really give that a chance because a lot of our fan base, I mean, they see that and they're just like, this is stupid. I don't want to be a part of this. So it's a really fine line between something that's corny and people would laugh at and something where kids would walk away and say, oh, that was really cool. I want to see that again and tell their friends about it.
Like my plan is to I'm trying to intimidate people as much as humanly possible without me physically having to get violent. Um, if there's a way for me to do that without coming across that way and for people not getting offended, I'm going to push that boundary as far as I humanly possibly can. I guess like in future shows, I guess people will see that more, but this is just the beginning. Like it's going to get more violent, more brutal. I want to bring back the Gigi Allen aspect to like what we're doing as musicians, not only with our music but with our live show.
Minus throwing shit at them.
I will not be shitting on stage in front of people. But everything else I will definitely be willing to do.
You can pay me back this later.
Yeah.
Walmart. Plain white t-shirts, just
Yeah.
cut a strip and then full coach. Man, instant fan pump.
I've definitely gotten naked, not live, but I'm thinking about it. Getting pretty close.
We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about it.
Okay, so 2 more questions. Anything you guys want to plug or videos on YouTube? Put a link in.
We just released 2 songs from our full length, which we'll be recording hopefully very soon. We recorded the first 2 songs. We're shopping them out to labels and management companies and seeing if after turning our asses off, someone would be interested in picking us up and putting out the record.
Yeah.
But we just released 2 new songs. One's called Millstone, and the other one's called Deadweight. They're up on our YouTube page and our Facebook. Everything's youtube.com/idolsmetal. Same with Facebook, MySpace, everything.
Yeah, I'll put the link down there.
So we just released 2 new songs, which we're very proud of. We've been working on these things for the past 8 months. We're really happy with how they turned out. We recorded with Aaron Smith, who is the guitarist of the recently signed Century Media band Seven Horns, Seven Eyes.
They're a great band. You should check them out.
Yeah, really impressive music. We've been playing in bands with them for years, and it's awesome they're finally getting signed.
And last but not least, the question we all want to know: if you were a woman for one day, who's the one guy you have sex with?
Ryan Reynolds.
Jay.
Oh, really?
No, actually Ryan Reynolds. Honestly, that would. I could sleep with Ryan Reynolds. I would have no problem with that.
I do.
Would he have to
I
wear the
do.
Green Lantern outfit?
No, I'd prefer him if he were in Waiting.
Waiting.
I would prefer
Humorous.
Yeah.
A ball joke. Show me the goat, just to kind of reel me in. Yeah,
He's a good-looking guy.
I'd be.
And he's so funny. I mean, it's hard not to fall for that guy. Honestly.
I wouldn't even have to be a woman. I'd just take it. I'd just bend over.
Honestly,
down
if
there.
Ryan Reynolds,
you're gonna give me the bottom.
if Ryan Reynolds
I'd be the
asked,
bottom. I'd be the bottom.
He surprised me in Blade with his sexy beat and stuff.
Ryan Reynolds is a good-looking guy. I can see that.
Okay, well, thank you guys very much.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Thanks a lot, man.
And It's everything. So